Tonight, a crime with an unexpected target.
In normal day-to-day life, you do not expect such things to happen.
The pizza shop payment terminal theft caught on camera. And
they can study it, they can dismantle it.
How it might be feeding into other crimes. Rethinking noise limits in Cambridge.
I think the crux of the issue is we have a noise bylaw that's over 20 years old.
The recent parties and penalties that have set off a new search for balance. Plus, bovine baby news.
We have the most beautiful little baby, Joe, from the two of them. He's so cute.
The latest chapter in the story of a barnyard power couple. And
like in any relationship, there were some struggles. There were some challenges.
The not so smooth side.
We've named it Days of Our Livestock because that's just what it's become.
Of their love story. Good evening. What appeared to be a routine pizza order turned into a bizarre but increasingly common theft. Staff at a Domino's in Kitchener say a customer walked in, pretended she wanted to order, but instead swiped a payment terminal right off the counter and took off. All of it was caught on camera. CTV's Heather Sennerin has more on this and joins us live. And Heather, really what we're learning is that this all happened very quickly.
It was very fast, Tony. The store owner shared the video on social media in the hopes that someone might recognize the person that swiped the machine. Take a look.
It seemed like a typical Tuesday night at Domino's Pizza on Fairway Road in Kitchener. Around 10 p.m., security footage shows a customer walk in. According to staff, she said she needed a second to decide what she wanted.
She was pretending to having a look at the menu, but whereas checking out all the employees where they are and just looked for the perfect moment and grabbed the machine.
The suspect appears to act quickly, snatching the point-of-sale terminal right off the counter before taking off. She was in and out within 1 minute.
It was specifically the front debit machine that we use for the transaction for the walk-in customer specifically.
Staff say they called the company who makes the machines to deactivate it within minutes of them noticing it was gone. They say they just upgraded their machines last week.
They just store the value and not the card information itself. So there's no personal information of anybody on there.
A cybersecurity expert says the theft of point-of-sale terminals is becoming more and more common.
Stealing a point-of-sale terminal is actually a very useful thing for criminals. They can study it, they can dismantle it.
He says in this case, staff did the right thing reporting it to the manufacturer or supplier immediately.
So that the network knows that this device is no longer trusted on the network.
Claudia Upopa says businesses should be mindful about where these devices are kept.
The POS terminal should not be placed where the public can reach it unless it's time for them to interact with it. Otherwise, anyone could come by and unplug it and plug it back in or tamper with it in some other way that will result in losses, financial losses, or the device loss itself.
Domino's staff say they plan on changing where it is placed to prevent future thefts. They have a replacement for now and ordered a new one, but the business is still taking a hit.
We do hope it doesn't happen to anybody actually, because for a business, any food industry, like anything over $1,000 is a lot of money. It costs company money and it affects everybody.
Domino's staff say they have not yet reported the theft to police. The cybersecurity expert encourages businesses to report thefts like this to police and to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, as it is a security incident, and learning about what the theft trends are can help other businesses as well. Tony.
Okay, Heather, thank you. CTV's Heather Sennerin reporting live. All right, time to switch over to our first look at the weather now. And for that, we are going on location tonight to Kitchener's Jack Couch Park. And that's where we find Karis Mapp filling in for Ashley on weather duties tonight. And Karis, I was wondering where you were when I got to the office. This explains it. And I understand you're going to tell us about a team we've never heard of before. Usually we're talking about the Panthers. Tonight it's the Berlin Keg Tappers.
That is absolutely right, Tony. Tonight it is Oktoberfest in July here at Jack Couch Park. The polka music is now playing, and like you mentioned, the team most commonly known as the Kitchener Panthers really leaning into their alter ego tonight of the Berlin Keg Tappers, which is still in line with local spirit because, as many people know, back in the early 1900s, Kitchener was called Berlin and then made that switch over to Kitchener. So as for the Keg Tappers, once they take to the field, they'll be sporting some nice lederhosen, some checkered shirts, and brown suspenders. And they're not the only ones really coming in style tonight. Gates just recently opened, and I'm seeing some of the fans coming also wearing their lederhosen, really getting into the spirit of tonight's Bavarian Festival themed game. And fans can expect many of the signature staples that they see at that beautiful festival later on in the year also happening tonight. We'll get to that a little bit later. Starting with our boards, a beautiful night for a baseball game. As you can see, satellite radar, clear skies. Not a cloud in the sky at this time right now. Beautiful. That's going to be the case for the next couple hours as well. The temperature as well also matching the beautiful conditions that we're seeing, sitting at a comfortable 22 degrees, a light northwesterly wind at 13 kilometers per hour. So it really could not be better for a game. Focusing on those temperatures, 22 degrees in Waterloo region, 24 down in Windsor, 21 up in Wyerton. Overall, not super hot. The humidity actually none at this time, so it is a true 22 degrees, but people are getting ready. They're dialing in through the gates, getting ready for all things Bavarian Festival. The Berlin Keg Tappers will be taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's not an alter ego name. That is their name year-round. Special first pitch coming out by Uncle Hans. That'll be shortly after 7. Lots for people to look forward to, Tony.
Well, that's going to be fun. Okay, we'll check in with you a little bit later. Karis, thank you very much. The city of Cambridge is hoping to find the right balance of noisy fun and being good neighbors. Over the last few weeks, the Gaslight District held free World Cup watch parties on the big screen, events that were well attended and loud enough to pick up a few noise complaint tickets. As we hear from CTV's Jeff Pickle, the city says the situation highlights the need to update an old bylaw.
Soccer fans are known for their passion, intensity, and volume. That noise from the Gaslight District watch parties resulted in several complaints to the city of Cambridge.
And unfortunately, that resulted in 2 tickets being issued for amplified noise.
The city says they believe community events like those hosted at Gaslight are important to a vibrant city.
They're doing a lot of great things for bringing the community together and having events, and a lot of it is free, and that's fantastic.
People we spoke with today say they appreciate what Gaslight brings to the community.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to Cambridge. It's a place, it's like an Italian square.
And I'm not here all the time by any means, right? But it's still a decent place. I at least recommend it. It's good for the communities.
Well, there's no denying that events at the Gaslight District can be noisy. Nearly everyone we spoke with agrees. The issue is not the noise, it's the noise bylaw that's still in place.
I think the crux of the issue is we have a noise bylaw that's over 20 years old.
The current bylaw is brief and vague, only stating that you can be fined for making noise that is likely to disrupt the inhabitants of the municipality.
It doesn't have clear sort of bars to meet. And so that's one of the things that we're looking for.
Councillors Adam Cooper and Sherry Roberts agree it's the bylaw that needs work.
The fact is our bylaw is tied down to a fairly archaic sound bylaws that exist right now. So we're right to the final step of fixing that issue.
It makes it very difficult for both sides, people planning events and the people in the community, to understand, how to complain, when to complain, what's acceptable, what's not.
The city says it expects to have the bylaw ready for a vote in the fall and in place for next summer's events. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Cambridge.
A joint investigation by police in southern Ontario has put a dent in a massive cross-border drug trafficking operation. 1.7 tons of illegal drugs were seized, along with military-grade guns. And a Kitchener man is among the long list of people who are charged. CTV's Judy Trin has more.
A small mountain of illegal drugs weighing 1.7 tons, most of it cocaine and methamphetamine, seized during an investigation nicknamed Project Bay, which began in Windsor 18 months earlier.
The drugs in this room are not ending up in the hands of our community's vulnerable population. The firearms in this room are not sowing chaos in our communities.
Displayed in front of the hundreds of packages, the jarring visual of a weapon of war, an anti-tank gun, among the recovered firearms. Investigators say transnational crime groups are involved.
Investigators identified a network coordinating the movement and distribution of large quantities of drugs through otherwise legitimate supply chains. This included coordinating shipments and arranging drivers to knowingly transport concealed drugs within commercial loads.
Police say brokers were used to smuggle drugs in transport trucks and that illegal drugs worth $139 million have been taken off the streets, most of it intercepted at the border in May and June.
Border Services officers intercepted over 1.1 tons of drugs that criminal groups were attempting to smuggle across the border. We shared vital intelligence and surveillance information with our partners.
10 law enforcement agencies worked together on Project Bay, from Ontario Provincial Police to local police in Windsor and the Toronto area, along with the RCMP, U.S. Homeland Security, and the Drug Enforcement Agency. Investigators say the shipments originated in the southwestern United States and are likely connected to Mexican cartels.
Logically, Mexico is a well-known transshipment point with drug cartels.
Police have arrested 19 people in connection with Project Bay. 2 other suspects are on the run. Investigators emphasize that they have not dismantled a drug network, but have put a dent in the supply. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
The federal government's updated its travel warning for Canadians heading to the U.S. It's because of the outbreak of cyclosporiasis, which is linked to contaminated lettuce. There have been more than 11,000 people in 41 states who've gotten sick from the parasitic stomach illness. 1,600 cases have been linked to lettuce supplied to Taco Bell in 5 states. The likely source is a farm in Mexico. Canadians visiting the U.S. are being urged to use extra caution and thoroughly wash fresh fruits and vegetables, even if they're labeled as pre-washed. There are no known cases of this illness in Canada. Provincial officials now say 180 active wildfires are burning in northern Ontario. That's an increase of 7 compared to yesterday. Despite a warning not to return to their homes, there are reports that several people are going back, claiming that the province isn't doing enough to protect their properties. The OPP are reminding people who've been ordered out to stay away or risk hundreds of dollars in fines. Well, a big change is coming to 2 of our affiliated radio stations. Bounce and Virgin are flipping frequencies. It was announced this morning that 105.3 will become the new home of Bounce Radio, while Virgin Radio KW will be heard on 99.5. The decision to swap the frequencies was made based on research that showed a strong appetite for the Bounce music in larger geographical areas that can hear 105.3, while many of Virgin's listeners are located right in the city.
When you're talking about 70s, 80s, 90s, and the best of the 2000s, Bounce Radio has it. To put it on 105.3, that has an amazingly huge signal. Like, it goes all the way to almost Owen Sound, all the way down around the Goderich area, all into Toronto, almost down to like the Windsor. It's humongous. And so it's a lot easier to service your clients when they can hear you. And it would seem that there is that huge appetite for Bounce Radio to be on that huge frequency. And as far as Virgin goes, a lot of their audience is very Kitchener-centric. And Kitchener, you can get 99.5, no problem at all.
The changes go into effect at 9 a.m. on July 28th. That's next Tuesday. CTV, Bounce, and Virgin Radio are all owned by Bell Media. Coming up later, a longtime Kitchener shop prepares to put its final frames together. The end of an era for more than a half-century-old framing business.
Well, it's all things Bavarian here at the Baseball Diamond, and the perfect conditions to come cheer on your Berlin keg tappers. Beautiful sunny skies, but rain is on the way coming this weekend. I'll let you know when to expect that during your first forecast later in the show.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Conservation advocates are pushing back on the provincial government's amalgamation plan, which would bring the current 36 conservation authorities down to just 9. With more on the compromise they're proposing, this report from CTV's Scott Miller.
I think, it's working together.
At the most recent meeting of the Maitland Valley Conservation Foundation, Dr. Justina Ray, founder of the Wildlife Conservation Society of Canada, made it clear that local decision-making about environmental protections matter.
This incredible link between global and local action really meets at the watershed scale.
Which is why Dr. Ray and many at last month's meeting are against provincial plans to amalgamate Ontario's 36 conservation authorities into 9.
It's really, really important that you've got a local knowledge, and we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose that into a great big massive regional conservation authority that, in our case, covers 19,500 square kilometers.
The province-wide conservation amalgamations take effect February 1st. The province says combining conservation authorities and creating a centralized Ontario Provincial Conservation Authority will streamline building approvals, standardize services, and strengthen watershed management. McCougan says cutting out lower-tier municipal involvement is a mistake.
I think that we need to make sure that our voice is not lost in a big regional conservation authority.
On February 1st, Maitland Valley will join 5 other conservation authorities, creating the Lake Huron Regional Conservation Authority, stretching from Exeter to Orillia. McCougan is still pushing to split their newly created regional authority in half.
We would love to see a Lake Huron focused. Use the Lake Huron shoreline as a datum and make that a conservation authority. We were proposing that we call it the Lake Huron Conservation Region. You know, drop the authority name.
Whether the government goes for McCougan's proposal or not remains to be seen. Dr. Ray fears her work with Maitland Valley and other conservation authorities on the One Health lens, which intertwines environmental planning decisions to not only consider the impact on animal and natural health, but its impact on human health as well, will be lost amidst the new centralized conservation agency.
We have to be celebrating the watershed, even though politically speaking, it is being torn down in front of us.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Talk about a new meaning to the term engine coil. Mississauga Animal Services workers pulled a python from under the hood of a vehicle. On July 13th, the agency was advised about a python trapped in the engine compartment. They successfully removed it. They say it was dehydrated and had a few scratches, but was otherwise healthy. The python's recovering now at a shelter. Back outside we go for a live look at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener. Normally we'd be saying it's the Kitchener Panthers game tonight, but it's the Berlin Keg Tappers this evening. Bit of an alter ego situation for the ball team as they celebrate Oktoberfest in July at Jack Couch Park. And what a gorgeous night to head out to a ball game. Karis Mapp is live on location with us for more on that and our forecast in just a few minutes. And also coming up, going to new heights with the latest thrill to open up at Canada's Wonderland. And a reality check on a new plan to loosen cross-provincial booze barriers. All right, Karis, it's a great night to, as they say, take me out to the ball game. And we've got not the Kitchener Panthers tonight, but the Berlin Keg Tappers. I can still hear the Oktoberfest music, I think, behind you right now.
Yeah, That's right, Tony. The polka is playing. I'm even leaning to it a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see. I've got my Berlin Keg Tappers hat on. And earlier I spoke about the outfits and the jerseys that they'll be wearing. I'm now joined by Coach Pete, head coach of the Berlin Keg Tappers. And let's just see what he's got on here. We've got the lederhosen, the checkered shirt, the suspenders. Coach, can you tell me a little bit about what your reaction when you heard about this alter ego game?
I was excited the minute I heard about it because this group of guys, number one, we get excited about any of the promotional games. Canada Day was a big day for us, Cowboy Hat Day, but this is something special. When I heard that we're doing something that's kind of a precursor to the biggest Oktoberfest, second biggest in the world, but the biggest on this continent, I got excited immediately and I said, let's go, let's do it.
And regardless of what name we're going by today, tonight's game actually still counts towards the record. We're about halfway through the season, sitting one place back from making playoffs. What are you hoping to see from the squad? Even with the fun in the air, what do you want to see on the baseball diamond?
Well, I want the Keg Tappers to be undefeated after tonight. That's what I want, number one. But yeah, we just need to take business as usual. We have to go about our business, regardless of all the fun and festivities. That's something that always adds to the ambiance of being a Panther. But I think we're ready to go, and I have confidence that the guys, they looked great in pregame, so I'm pretty sure they're ready to take care of business on the field.
And before we started, we were talking about the amount of fans. Like I said, we're expecting about 1,000 people to come out and support these Keg Tappers. How does it make you feel to see so many people out here, also dressed in lederhosen, really leaning into the spirit of tonight's game?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I myself, with a German last name, coming from German heritage, my grandfather was born in Bavaria. So to me, it's a fun event, you know, for me and my family as well. So, but when I look around and I see the actual lederhosen here, it gives me a boost of energy. I'm like, well, let's go, people. Come on. You know, how can you go wrong with this, right?
And we joked about that maybe these uniforms will have to make a resurgence at a later game. You said maybe home games all the time. What's your favorite part about the outfit tonight?
It's just unique. The uniqueness of the all white socks and you know, the lederhosen look. It's fun. You know, the suspender look, the whole thing. It kind of it's a throwback outfit, and I'd like to think we're a throwback team.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck out there. You get those Keg Tappers undefeated, 1-0.
Let's do it.
We'll see. Awesome. Thank you so much. And the perfect night for this baseball game. I'm not sure if you can see, but the sky behind me, clear, not even a cloud in the sky. Really, really beautiful. Starting with our future cast, we're really highlighting that on the board here. Beautiful, clear skies, not much happening. As the night goes on, continuing with those same clear skies, we're going to see a little bit of cloud coverage. And then heading into Saturday, we are going to have a bit of a wet weather system move through the region. As we can see here by Saturday, it's not going to last too long, but something to be mindful of. So if you're going to get outside, today and tomorrow are the days to do it. Looking at the temperature now, we already talked about the perfect conditions. The temperature matching that, 22 degrees in Waterloo region, no humidity, a true 22, 24 in Windsor and Sarnia, and north of us, Wyerton sitting at 21, so really low 20s, a comfortable temperature. It's not like that stifling heat that we've been dealing with these last couple of weeks. Overnight, no, we're going to dip down to 8 degrees, a relatively cool overnight low, but as we saw in that future cast, the clear skies are going to continue. And tomorrow, if you can't get out today, there will be some more sunshine then, a high of 26 degrees, sunny with a UV index of 8 or very high, so make sure you're slapping on some sunscreen if you do plan to spend a lot of time outside. Our almanac here, as we can see, 24 degrees, didn't quite get up to there, a little bit cooler than our expected normal of 26, and our overnight low 8, pretty much cooler than the normal 14 that we're usually used to seeing at this time of year. Sunset tonight at 8:54 p.m., so lots of sunlight left. And getting into our 7-day forecast, we talked about the sunshine tomorrow. We're getting some showers over the weekend and to start next week, but the temperatures aren't going to take a dip from that. 24, 25, still relatively warm, and those overnight lows also coming up to 20 degrees. Lambton, Kent, Essex, very similar situation as to what we're seeing in Waterloo region. Mainly sunny. They're getting some more sunshine over the weekend, but starting next week off again with those showers. But Tuesday, look at that, up to 29 degrees, 28, 27. I mentioned those overnight lows. We're seeing them at 20 degrees, so warm day, warm night. And finally, in southern Georgian Bay, it's pretty much same story, 26 degrees for the weekend. We are going to see some scattered showers. 22 degrees to start Monday with the rain, cloudy on Tuesday, sun and cloud to round off the week. So lots to be excited about. As we said here, I'm not sure if you can hear, but they're starting to do announcements. We're going to get that keg tap that's coming up soon at 6:30, I believe. It's just momentarily. early. Uncle Hans is going to do that first pitch just after 7 o'clock. You couldn't get a better day, Tony. This is where you want to be, Jack Couch Park. The stands are starting to fill in. A beautiful day. There's still time. Come on down, enjoy some giveaways, some merch. They have nice hats, as you can see. This is the place you want to be. Tony.
Karis, can you lean in just a little bit? I want to see that logo. I want to see that Berlin Keg Tappers logo on your hat. It's great. I love it. What a novelty. That's going to be a collector's item, I think. Good
Absolutely.
Stuff. All right, we'll check in with you at the end of the show. Once again, we'll get a closer look at that. Thanks, Karis. The Prime Minister says everything's on the table to deal with potential 50% U.S. tariffs. The threat adding a sense of urgency to a meeting with Canada's premiers in Charlottetown today. Here's CTV's Rachel Aiello.
Under pressure to plot Canada's path through the latest escalation of the trade war with the United States, Prime Minister Mark Carney met with premiers today to strategize.
Canadian governments around this table will do whatever it takes to defend and support our families, our workers, and our businesses.
Morning. Provincial and territorial leaders went into the meeting wanting the Canadian government to articulate how they intend to get the Americans to the table.
With a strong plan, Team Canada, led by the Prime Minister.
And what happens if he doesn't have a strong plan today?
Well, I don't expect him to have the T's crossed and I's dotted, but it's a Team Canada approach led by the Prime Minister.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Chief Negotiator Janice Charette joined today's talks. And hours later, First Ministers emerged united and with new resolve.
We're ready. We're ready because we have been focusing on what we can control. And that's building our strength at home.
As the clock ticks towards U.S. President Donald Trump's new tariffs coming into effect, Carney said he sees the current deadline as both a potential endgame, but also just another pressure tactic.
Everything's on the table if there's no agreement, depending on the outcome of the negotiations.
And premiers, while initially differing on retaliation, agreed the best outcome would be to get a comprehensive deal that provides relief for the full range of tariff-affected sectors.
97% of our goods cross the border without tariffs, but we'd like it to be 100%. And we'd like it to be the same way for the rest of the country as well.
The Prime Minister was also pressed to keep provinces in the loop as negotiations intensify.
Canada's at its best when provinces and territories and the federal government work together.
Carney and the premiers also agreed to keep up efforts to strengthen the domestic economy, to reduce Canada's reliance on the United States long term, from breaking down even more interprovincial trade barriers to building more major energy projects. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Beer and winemakers here in southwestern Ontario are applauding an announcement made by the premiers earlier this week, loosening trade barriers on alcohol sales. Still, expanding into new markets doesn't guarantee financial viability. CTV's Brian Bicknell reports.
Paul Corriveau is ready to open the fridge door to more customers.
We have lots of people that reach out to us from other provinces that would love us to get our beer out there. We're just trying to figure out the economics of shipping and delivering and what have you.
The co-founder of Railway City Brewing in St. Thomas is raising a glass to a new agreement to remove some barriers on interprovincial alcohol sales. But he says the logistics would have to make it financially viable.
The biggest challenge for us is continuing to brew high-quality beer and then finding consumers that'll enjoy it and purchase it. And then finding the retailers that'll be prepared to sell it so that the consumers can actually receive it. Everything comes down to how can you get it to the customer at a cost-effective method that still makes it affordable.
A deal signed by 9 provinces, including Ontario, will allow breweries, wineries, and distilleries to sell directly to customers in participating provinces. What it could mean for consumers, for example, is they'll now be able to order a bottle of wine from another province and have it shipped straight to their door. At Sky Chase Estate Winery near St. Thomas, GM Russ Press is hoping new opportunities bear fruit.
It opens up markets. It opens up markets for direct sale, wine club growth as well, seasonal opportunities. So. Could be good.
And with the U.S. booze ban still in effect, this announcement coming at a time that many Ontarians are discovering, or in some cases rediscovering, some of the tastes in their own backyard.
You do hear there's a real sense of pride growing, and wow, I'm kind of forced to have some Ontario wine, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really something that I don't want to go back on.
The alcohol deal is part of a larger effort to address interprovincial trade barriers across Canada. It also follows U.S. President Trump's latest threat to slap 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian goods, including alcohol.
They like supporting local where they can. As long as you have a great tasting product and the price is competitive, people will find you.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News, St. Thomas.
Millions of dollars for local companies to help boost defense, aerospace, and tech. Just ahead, Canada's AI minister in Kitchener today with an announcement aiming to spark more homegrown work for big-ticket priorities. Five decades of framing is coming full square for a business owner in Kitchener. CTV's Krista Sharp-Kilpatrick tells us about a long-standing local shop that's closing for good and how friendship is the real glue behind the backing.
A frame may only consist of 4 corners, but for Anne-Marie Halley and Chris Baker, it holds an entire career.
I've never gotten up in the morning and said, I don't want to go to work today.
The two have worked side by side for roughly 5 decades, but after 51 years in the industry, Baker, owner of the Framing and Art Center in Belmont Village, says it's time to retire.
Our lease is up this year, and turning 71 this year, I don't really want to think about when would I close if I don't stop now.
What was once a passive passion turned into a lifelong one.
I've always enjoyed art. Ever since I was a kid, I took art lessons, either watercolor or oil painting. And I was a young mom at home, a little bit bored, and decided to get a job.
Starting as an associate, Baker quickly became a franchisee in an ever-changing industry.
We started out as the Framing Experience, and it was a do-it-yourself store, so you could bring your artwork in, and we had little tables set up with hammers and nails and little vices.
The business then moved to King Street, where they stayed for 29 years until LRT construction brought them here to Belmont Village under the now well-known name Framing and Art Center.
The transition is always difficult, but we landed in the best place ever, and the village is just a really great place to have a business.
Quickly becoming a staple in the community. It's a spot where not only their customers will miss the pair,
everybody knows you and everybody loves you,
but their neighbors.
It's sad to see him go, for sure.
And colleagues will too.
It's kind of emotional, sad, and but I'm really happy for Chris and her future and Anne-Marie. They're both ready to move on to bigger and better and more exciting adventures.
From locks of hair to hockey fair and everything in between, their experience here has also framed their perspective on life.
For me, the most interesting part of my job was always meeting the people and hearing their stories.
The Framing and Art Center in Belmont Village, Kitchener will close its doors for good Saturday, July 25th. Krista Sharp, CTV News, Kitchener.
More than 20 companies across Waterloo Region and Brant County are getting new money from Ottawa to bolster their work in AI, tech, defense, and manufacturing. Canada's artificial intelligence minister joined local politicians today to make the announcement at XL Tool in Kitchener. That's one of the firms that's going to share in the $40 million announcement. The money is part of the government's strategy to bolster domestic production for defense, tech, and other supply chains amid the trade war with the U.S. The minister touched on why this part of Ontario is a key part of that strategy.
If you look at Kitchener, Waterloo, Brant, that area, they are leaders in innovation, in IT, in AI, in ag tech, in tool and die making, in manufacturing. And so this is an area that is a unique area that has it all.
The government says XL Tools' share of the money will allow it to modernize and move toward entering the defense and aerospace markets. No breakdown was provided of how much of the $40 million is going to each of the 23 companies that are sharing in that boost. Time to recap our top stories. Leanne Evans is in studio with all the latest. We're talking about a brazen theft, an unusual one too, that was caught on camera at a local pizza shop.
Yeah, and it left staff at Domino's on Fairway Road in Kitchener frustrated. They say a woman walked into the store, acted like she wanted to order, and then stole their payment terminal before running off. It all happened in less than a minute, they say. And there is no customer data stored on the terminal, according to staff. The city of Cambridge is taking a closer look at its noise bylaw after the Gaslight District picked up a number of tickets during its World Cup watch parties. Staff say the current noise complaint bylaw is outdated, and they want to provide a space where people can have fun while still being respectful. The new bylaw is being worked on and should be ready for a council vote in the fall.
And actually staying in the Cambridge area, Leanne, we've got some off-season hockey news, some big news for a player from Cambridge.
Yeah, exactly. Goaltender Jet Greaves has signed a 3-year deal with the Columbus Blue Jackets. He played for the Cambridge Hawks AAA team before playing in the OHL with the Barrie Colts. You can read more about his NHL contract by scanning the QR code, downloading the CTV News app, or going to CTV News Kitchener.ca. Some good news right there.
We just keep feeding the big leagues with talent from this part of Ontario.
No kidding.
Gotta love it. Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
Canada's Wonderland launched a recently renovated roller coaster today featuring new trains and a new theme. CTV's Carol Charles has more on the running of the Daredeviler.
3, 2, 1, It was an exciting moment for coaster fans as they rushed to be the first in line to ride the newest roller coaster.
Very excited.
The ride, formerly known as Flight Deck, has a brand new identity. It's now called the Daredeviler, inspired by the high-flying stunt pilots and barnstorming air shows of the 1920s.
My goodness, are you excited for today?
Park officials say it's all about giving a classic ride a fresh new feel.
These new trains really make the guest experience much more comfortable and enjoyable. So as you're going around at 90 kilometers an hour, you'll feel the speed, and there's a little bit more open air for you as you're watching yourself on the ride.
And giving thrill seekers another reason to buckle up.
Smoother, it's so exciting. Like, you get to take everything in. It's mind-blowing. It's so great.
It was fast, fun, and amazing.
I think the refurbishment worked very well for what they were trying to go with.
Despite the many loops and sharp curves around the bend, many went back a second time.
Once was great, twice was whew, whew. It was a lot. It was great. It was great. Worth the wait, for sure.
So much smoother, you don't bang your head anymore?
Would you go on it again?
Yes.
With the Daredeviler officially back on track, Canada's Wonderland is hoping a new generation of thrill seekers will be ready to take the ride. Carol Charles, CTV News.
Later on CTV News, Rhett and Muriel have a baby. The new calf born out of a local bovine love story and the drama that these cheeky cows have brought to their farm. We're going to check back in on that Oktoberfest in July excitement at Jack Couch Park near the end of the show. First, though, it's a task no one looks forward to, cleaning out the bins for household garbage and recycling. But one youngster from York Region has turned the dreaded chore into a business opportunity. CTV's Sean Leathong explains.
He gets customers the old-fashioned way, whether it's a doorbell or a knock. This 11-year-old entrepreneur does the legwork just to give his pitch.
My name's Ashton, and I'm doing a service where I'll clean all your garbage bins. Hello.
While some kids his age spend their summer playing video games, Ashton Meyer started his own business, offering to clean garbage bins for a reasonable price.
It's all for $10. I'm coming back on tomorrow and Wednesday.
While going door to door in East Gwillimbury, Ashton records his interactions, posting to social media, and he's a hit.
I have 100,000 followers.
His first video on Instagram generated 2 million views, his second 4 million.
And then the one after that exploded and got like 7 million views.
As viewers connect to the videos, it's led to even more attention.
Have you seen the viral video of the kid going door to door selling his bin cleaning services?
even landing an interview on Fox Business News in the U.S.
Do you do the hard sell?
No, I'm more of like a medium sell, but I'm like a soft sell.
The videos document not only the work he does, thoroughly cleaning bins inside and out, but also the reality of rejection that comes with the territory.
I'm gonna pass on it for today.
The first no's, like when I went around my street, were the hardest.
Every night, Ashton's father, Jonathan, comes along for support, and he thinks the connection comes from seeing someone overcome adversity.
I think people just like how genuine Ashton is. He's just trying. It's really refreshing, I think, to see kids out there and doing something.
I'm cleaning garbage cans.
On this night, Ashton faces plenty of barking dogs and rejection.
Not today.
Okay.
But there are also a couple new customers.
Would like 4 o'clock be okay?
And with every door, his confidence grows.
It's not include your green bin, your recycling, and your garbage.
Oh my gosh, that's a great business.
You know what could we do next week?
Since late May, he's pulled in $700. His goal for the summer is to make $1,000. And in the fall,
I'm gonna rake and blow leaves. So we're gonna keep the trend going.
with each door gaining valuable life lessons before he starts grade 7. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Nice work. All right, more in a moment, but first let's check in with our Oktoberfest in July correspondent, Karis Mapp.
That's right, Tony. Like you said, Oktoberfest in July here at Jack Couch Park, and the sun is shining for the Berlin Keg Tappers' big matchup. Now, the sunshine will return tomorrow, and I'll let you know what to expect, the conditions rather, for first thing in the morning with Wake Up Weather coming up later. Stick around on CTV tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. We have E-Talk, followed by back-to-back-to-back Big Bang Theory. Then Children Ruin Everything from 9 and again at 9:30, finishing off with Traders Canada at 10.
As we've been telling you, it's Oktoberfest in July tonight at the Kitchener Panthers game. The team is playing tonight as the Berlin Keg Tappers. No Oktoberfest celebration complete, of course, without a keg tapping, and that happened a few minutes ago.
Eins, zwei, drei, steak that spigot. Eins, zwei,
There you go, a ceremonial keg tapping. Well, actually, a real keg tapping by the looks of it, as we get set for first pitch down at Jack Couch Park in this special Oktoberfest in July promotion. We've got all of the regulars there for Oktoberfest. We've got Karis Mapp down there, too, our correspondent tonight, to hopefully bring us some great ball game weather, Karis.
He was just dancing up a storm to
Absolutely, Tony. Beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, beautiful sunshine. I'm not sure if you can hear behind me right now. Uncle Hans is making his way to center field for that first pitch with Tanta Frida in tow, but there's so many people here, such great spirits. Everyone really excited for that Oktoberfest in October, but getting a sweet treat tonight in July. Beautiful skies. Everyone I've spoken to has said that this is one of the best, some of the best weather that they've seen at a Panther/Keg Tappers game in some time, so I'm not saying it's us, but we do bring some good sun. He's about to do his Uncle Hans. Let's pitch to here. We'll pan over to Uncle Hans, and there he goes. Woo! A little bit short, but we made it work. Uncle Hans there doing it all. What an Oktoberfest staple, and people really getting into the spirit of things. You're seeing many people here in their own lederhosen. As you can see, some of the players with the Keg Tappers wearing their version of that lederhosen jersey with that checkered shirt and the brown suspenders. So everyone really buying into the themed game tonight, just having a blast out here. And like you said, it could not be better weather. But let's see what the weather will be like tomorrow morning with our Wake Up Weather boards. Starting at 6 a.m., we're going to see some more sunshine. By 8, you guessed it, some more. And by 10 a.m., even more sunshine. So if you didn't get a chance to get outside today, have no worries. There will be some more time tomorrow. But if you are looking for something to do and you're living close by Jack Couch Park, get over here, get some tickets. An almost sold out crowd. But like I said, spirits are high. Everyone's enjoying it. And this is the place to be. Zigga-zaga, yep. Zigga-zaga.
It's going to be a good one. Karis, thank you. Looking forward to that. Appreciate it. Karis Mapp at Jack Couch Park tonight. Well, finally for us, after a moving wedding ceremony last year, 2 miniature Highland cows in Oxford County have welcomed a baby calf. Baby Joe was born to Muriel and Rhett earlier this year. But as CTV's Alexandra Hollick found out, like human relationships, it seems these bovines have hit some road bumps.
It was just over a year ago that Muriel and Rhett joined together in holy matrimony for a first-of-its-kind cow wedding. Hosted at Utterly Ridiculous Farm in Oxford County, the nuptials drew big crowds and produced a big bundle of joy.
We have the most beautiful little baby Joe from the 2 of them.
Baby Joe was born in March, happy, healthy, and with his best hoof forward.
You would think happy ending, everything is perfect, but like in any relationship, there were some struggles. Rhett, unfortunately, has had an affair with Muriel's best friend, Cookie. And we know this without a doubt now because she had a baby.
When Ginger Snap was born earlier this month, the 2-timing bull was put out to pasture.
I've been talking to Rhett about rebuilding trust and what it takes for a long-lasting relationship. It's going to take some time.
The couple is back in the same corral for now.
Muriel, is there any chance that you'll take Rhett back? It's too soon to say.
In the meantime, the farm has seen a boost in visitors hoping to catch the cast of 4-legged characters, all with their own personalities.
We've named it Days of Our Livestock because that's just what it's become. But we have seen a lot of people coming really wanting to meet the couple, which has been really nice to see.
The hope here on the farm is that Muriel and Rhett will move past this and go on to greener pastures with baby Joe and the rest of their growing family. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Oxford County.
Alexandra, thank you. That is the update we were waiting for on that story. And that does it for us on this Thursday evening. I'll see you back here tonight at 11:30. Have a good night.